morning students. Today I will discuss about different unit operations in wastewater treatment related to the contaminants. So please come to the topic. Different units or operations related to the contaminant. So I will discuss it in a tabular form. That will be easier for you. So please write down in the first column, that is contaminant. That is contaminant. And in the second column, that is the process. More perfectly, you can write down the treatment process. Okay, so by this table you can easily understand the different units and its treatment process. The first one is suspended solid. The first one is suspended solids. So it is the first contaminant. Now, what are the treatment process by which we can remove the suspended solids? The first one is plain sedimentation. The first one is plain sedimentation. And the second one is screening. Which I have already discussed in my previous video. The third one is filtration. The third one is filtration. There are various types of filtration: slow sand filter, rapid sand filter, or gravity sand filter. So all are I will discuss in my next video. The fourth thing is flotation. The fourth thing is flotation. And the fifth method or fifth treatment method is sedimentation with coagulation. That means first of all you have to coagulate, then sedimentation. So sedimentation with coagulation. And last thing is land treatment systems. Last thing is land treatment systems. So if the contaminant is suspended solid, then we can remove the contaminants by these 6 methods. Okay. Now, if the contaminant is biodegradable organics, so please write down in the contaminant column, that is biodegradable organics. So this is number 2, that is biodegradable organics. Then what will be the treatment process involved to remove the biodegradable organics? Okay, so please write down in the first point, that is activated sludge process. The first and foremost important thing is activated sludge process, which I will discuss in my next another video. The second is trickling filter. The second is trickling filter. And the third is rotating biological contractors, which we call in short, that is RBC. What is this? This is rotating biological contractor. And the fourth thing is lagoons, different types of lagoons, aerated lagoons or non-aerated lagoons. And the fifth thing is intermediate sand filtration. The fifth thing is intermittent sand filtration. And the next thing is land treatment system. The next thing is land treatment system. And the last thing is physical and chemical system. So, by these 7 methods or 7 treatment processes, we can remove the biodegradable organics. Okay. This column will give you a definite idea of different types of contaminants and their treatment processes to remove them from the wastewater. That is why I am discussing this in this video. Okay. Now, please come to the next contaminant, that is pathogens. So, number 3 is pathogens. If the pathogens are present in the wastewater, then we can use as a treatment process. The first one is chlorination. The first one is chlorination. And the second one is hypochlorination. The second one is hypochlorination. And the third one is ozonation. And the third one is ozonation. And the fourth one is land treatment system. The fourth one is land treatment system. So, by these 4 methods, we can remove the pathogens from the wastewater. Now, put the next contaminants, that is nitrogen. So, if nitrogen is present in the wastewater, first of all, we have to do the nitrification and as well as denitrification. So, you may use nitrification or denitrification according to the needs. And after that, you have to go for ammonia stripping. Ammonia stripping. And the next treatment process we can use, that is ion exchange method. We can use ion exchange method. And we can also use breakpoint chlorination. We can also use breakpoint chlorination. And the last one is land treatment systems. The last one is land treatment systems. So these are the 5 methods actually we can use for nitrogen. Okay. Now please write down the next contaminant, that is phosphorus. So number 5, it will be phosphorus. So please write down in the number 5, that is phosphorus. That is ROUS. That is phosphorus. So first of all, we can use the carbon adsorption. The first treatment we can use for phosphorus, that is carbon adsorption, and the second is lime coagulations or sedimentations. The second we can use, that is lime coagulation or sedimentation. Okay. The next treatment process we can use, that is biological chemical phosphorus removal. That is biological chemical phosphorus removal. And the fourth thing we can use, that is land treatment system. The fourth thing we can use, that is land treatment system. Now come to our next topic or next contaminant, that is refractory organics. So please write down the next contaminant, that is refractory organics. So this is number 6. Refractory organics. So the first thing is carbon adsorption. Treatment process is carbon adsorption, and the second is tertiary ozonation. The second is tertiary ozonation, and the third thing, that is land treatment systems. That is land treatment systems. In our next contaminants, it may be heavy metals. So if it is heavy metals, then we use, the first one is chemical precipitation. The first one we use chemical precipitation, and the second is ion exchange method, and the second is ion exchange method, and the third is land treatment system. The third we can use land treatment system. So if the contaminant is dissolved inorganic solids, then what will be the treatment process? If it is dissolved inorganic solids, then the first one is ion exchange. The first one we can use as a treatment process is ion exchange, And the second one we can use the reverse osmosis, that is RO, which is denoted as RO, that is reverse osmosis. And the third one we can use, that is electrodialysis. The third thing we can use, that is electrodialysis. Okay. So these are the actual contaminants we can use in our wastewater treatment, and these are the processes by which we can remove the wastewaters. Now we will discuss about the sludge processing and some disposal methods. So please write down our next topic, that is sludge processing and its disposal methods. So we can write down the sludge processing and disposal methods. So in this criteria we can also use as the in a tabular form. The first one is the disposal function, that means or processing, where it is processed. And in the second thing is the unit operations. The second thing is unit operations or the treatment method or treatment method used in the sludge processing. Now for the first thing, that is preliminary operations. It is the first operations of wastewater treatment. So we can write down in the first, that is preliminary operations. So in this case we can go for sludge pumping or grinding and grinding, that is sludge pumping and grinding. Okay. And again we can go for sludge bending and storage. Again we can go for sludge blending and storage. It is also another treatment method for preliminary operations. Now the second thing is sludge thickening. The second thing is sludge thickening. So in this case we can use the gravity thickening or flotation thickening. We can use first of all gravity thickening. Secondly, we can use flotation thickening, and thirdly we can use centrifugation. We can use centrifugation. Okay. So these are the three things we use for sludge thickening. And after that we have to stabilize the sludge. So the next topic is sludge stabilization. So in case of sludge stabilization we have to think about, first of all thing is chlorine oxidation. The first one is chlorine oxidation, and the second thing we have to know about lime stabilization. The second thing is line stabilization. And the third thing is anaerobic digestion. The third thing is anaerobic digestion. And the fourth is as well as aerobic digestion. Okay. And the fifth thing is pure oxygen aerobic digestion. The fifth thing is pure oxygen aerobic digestion. And the last thing is land treatment method. So there are so many methods used for sludge stabilization. Okay. Now in the next thing that we have to use for disinfection. The number 4 is disinfection, and in this case here we also use the disinfection process for sludge disposal. Now the fifth thing is conditioning. So please write down the number 5, that is conditioning. So please write down the number 5, that is conditioning. And for this case, the first one is chemical conditioning. Chemical conditioning. Okay. The next thing is dewatering. The next is dewatering. And for dewatering of the sludge, the first thing is we can use, that is centrifugation. The first thing we can use, that is centrifugation. And the second thing we can use, that is pressure filter. We can use pressure filter. The third thing we can use drying beds. The third thing we can use, that is drying beds. And the fourth thing we can use, that is lagoons. So these are the 4 methods for dewatering the sludge. Now next sludge operation, that is drying, and it is acted by a sludge dryer. And the next thing is composting of the sludge. All these things I will discuss in my next video elaborately. First of all, I came to know that I want to know you the different treatment methods. The composting is, there are 2 methods. The first one is composting and the second one is co-composting. Okay, by these 2 methods we can composting of the sludge. And the next method we have to use, that is thermal. Next disposal function actually, that is the thermal reduction. That means you have to reduce the temperature. So the number 9, that is thermal reduction. It can occur by different methods. First one is flash combustion. The first one is flash combustion. And secondly is pyrolysis. Secondly is pyrolysis. And the third thing is wet air oxidation. The third thing is wet air oxidation. And the fourth thing is co-incineration. The fourth thing is co-incineration. These are the actual methods of thermal reduction. And the final is ultimate disposal. The final is ultimate disposal. And this can be, the methods includes for this is, first one is landfill, and the second one is land application. Second one is land application. So these are the different sludge disposal methods or processing and the treatment process. Now in my next video I will discuss about different types of, I will discuss about the typical flow chart of sewage treatment plant.